Hey, this is Smiles here with another classic game review. Today, let's take a look back at Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Developed by Insomniac, Going Commando is the second game in the Ratchet and Clank series and was originally released in 2003 for the PS2. The story of Ratchet and Clank is filled with action, romance, humor, and of course, lots of explosives. After their success in the first game, Ratchet and Clank find themselves bored and in a bit of a funk. After a long hiatus from saving the galaxy, Ratchet and Clank are thrown back into the Call of Duty. The dynamic duo is contacted by Abercrombie Fitzgerald, the illustrious head of Megacorp, to rescue the protopet from a criminal mastermind. The game takes many serious plot twists with characters such as the mercenary group Thug Celeste, the Foxy Lombax Angela Cross, and the ever-present Captain Quark. An interesting plot, funny characters, and great voice acting really make this game's story enjoyable. Going Commando borrows many gameplay mechanics from the first game and adds to them. Like its predecessor, Going Commando is also a shooter platformer. While the basic controls stay pretty much the same, changes are made to make Ratchet and Clank easier to play. For instance, when you use the Quick Select feature, the game will pause the action when you select your weapon. This was a major improvement over the first game, where you could actually get hurt when switching out weapons. Going Commando also features a few spherical levels similar to the ones in Super Mario Galaxy. The main difference between Going Commando and its predecessor is the inclusion of RPG elements. As you defeat enemies, the red experience bar below your HP will slightly increase. When it is filled, you gain an additional nanotech unit. Weapons also work in a similar fashion. When you defeat enemies with a certain weapon, it will gain experience until it evolves into a new, more powerful weapon. Because many weapons have this feature, Going Commando encourages you to experiment with multiple weapons. Speaking of weapons, Going Commando increases the weapon count from 15 to 24. Being a major part of the game, the weapons don't disappoint. Going Commando includes such weapons as the rapid-firing Heavy Lancer, the shotgun-like Blitz Cannon, and my personal favorite, the Rhino 2. Priced at an astronomical 1 million bolts, the Rhino 2 was hard to come by. The purchase is well worth it, however, for this gun was possibly the strongest in-game. To put it in perspective, the final boss can be taken out with this gun alone in less than 30 seconds. With the additions of new weapons and an RPG element, gameplay for Going Commando has significantly improved over the original. The game's design for the most part is well done. While the levels are expansive and have much to offer, they basically look the same. Ratchet finds himself either in a city, a snowy tundra, or a desert. It's a surprise why Ratchet has to travel to different planets. They all look pretty much the same. Many design aspects are recycled from one level to the next, making Ratchet and Clank somewhat of a bore to look at. Still, this is only a minor flaw. Ratchet and Clank games are known for having great replay value, and Going Commando is no exception. Besides the main story, Going Commando also features gladiator matches, where you compete against waves of enemies to earn prizes. The gladiator matches offers a refreshing break from the main story and is a great way to earn bolts and level up weapons. Going Commando also features hoverbike races and dogfights, but it's whatever. I personally didn't find them that much fun. There are better games for racing and aerial combat. Ratchet and Clank Going Commando was one of my favorite games for the PS2, and it's not very hard to see why. The story is great, gameplay is fun, and the replay value is superb. While the levels don't offer much variation in respect to design, it doesn't take much away from the game. Going Commando made significant improvements from the first game and introduced many mechanics which became staples in the series. Going Commando is a perfect example of why Ratchet and Clank series is loved by fans and critics alike.